Kingwood's a great place to live. We've lived here most our married life, raised our family here, and there's just so much to do here. There's a lot of nature trails, a lot of places to explore, and great people, great neighbors. Very easy to be active in the community, and yeah, they call it the livable forest for a reason. It's a very beautiful place to live.
It's great living around here. My dad always had time to take us out camping. He was very active with the Boy Scout troop and very famous for his cobblers. He was committed to getting these cobblers out for everybody, to the point where once he cut his thumb slicing the fruit, and so he didn't give up there. He actually started instructing other people on how to cut the fruit for him. And so he would experiment with these things. He made a cran apple cobbler once, which was a mixture of cranberry and apple, and it was delicious, and I had never seen anything like that before.
He's very creative and very adventurous, and sometimes it works out, sometimes not. And yeah, it worries me at times. I mean, he's been known to go off on his bicycle and get lost in areas that I never would have found him. One time he had to abandon his bike, and it took us 2 days with a machete to go back and get it. Throughout the years we've been married, Nick is always coming up with new and brilliant ideas. He's had several patents through the years in various different fields, and so whenever he comes up with these ideas, he brings them to fruition.
Brilliant!
Nick? What's going on? Are you okay? Oh, Nick, it's beautiful!
So let me tell you about this. So I'm on the bus going home. Nick gets on the bus and he sits down next to me. He's like super excited. And he's going on and on and on about like this pie that he had a dream of. And it's like he starts drooling and farting, and I mean he's like goes on and on in amazing detail about this pie, so much that like I could taste it and smell it myself. But I mean that's all I know about the pie.
So the next morning after the dream, he was raring to go with his idea, but it was Thanksgiving morning. I had a turkey to cook, I had guests in. I had to tell him that the pie would have to wait a day. He didn't take it well.
Tomorrow? Julie, it should have been made yesterday.
Oh, Dad, I hate to see you so upset. What's this all about? What's this pie?
This pie, man, it's the most delicious creation known to man.
No, more delicious than this waffle?
Well, I'll have to test that. So, let me walk you through this pie from the outside in, exactly as you would taste it after I beautify this waffle. So, you start off with a buttery, flaky crust. And so, it's going to be perfectly crispy, perfectly flaky. Then, on the top side, you're going to encounter some chocolate. This is very important. This is your first taste of the pie. And so, first impressions are everything. Then, you're going to encounter candied pecans with caramel. The pecans are going to be pieces, not whole, so that way they're not too overwhelming. They don't fill up your mouth too quickly. And then, the caramel, it's not going to be too much. When you have too much caramel, everything's sticky. Julie, we're out of cottage cheese.
Dad's vision for the pie was so real and so complete that it captured my attention. And I knew immediately this was a project that I wanted to be a part of. It could be my big break. I was also very aware that there was no way Dad could pull this off on his own because there was a lot of work to be done. And, well, let's just say there would be no pie without me.
How's my favorite little chef?
Oh, things are coming along. I think you're really going to like it.
Let me try. All right, I'm glad I tried that because you're supposed to say do milk, then eggs, then sugar. If you add it differently, the chemicals don't blend quite right.
Was it surprised that my dad called me in to do the chocolate? Of course not. You know, my dad calls me in to do all the specialty jobs.
It gets pretty complicated, really, and I'm not going to go into all the details because, frankly, I don't know if you'd understand, but let me just say that it was a mistake to bring Nick in for the chocolate layer.
And so there it was. The pie was finished and it looked fantastic. Oh, and it smelled so good that we could not wait to dig in, eat it, and it was absolutely wonderful. Except for one thing. It was a little soft. We should have chilled it first.
The pie was delicious, but it's kind of familiar.
Tiene la combinación de sabores precisas. Su base es crujiente. Luego sigue flan, caramelo, chocolate, muchas nueces. Esa combinación de sabores para mi paladar es perfecto. ¿Quieres partir el pie? Metes el cuchillo, haces el corte. Sorprendentemente, el pie se vuelve olas. Por eso no me sorprende que se haya vuelto ese pie tan famoso.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Man, I only wish Valenti had released that dream pie just a couple months earlier. It would have been great to have for my groom's cake.
So you might call my dad a food perfectionist, but I regard him as a genius.
In the end, I'm glad this work is getting the recognition that it deserves. And I don't mind not getting the credit. That's not what it's about. But if anyone looks close enough, they can tell that I was the one doing all the hard work.
You know what Nick always says, never underestimate the power of the crunch, and always chill it before you eat it.
Oh my God. I just remember where that pie was from. We had it. We had that pie together in El Paso in a cafe last year when we were there together. Okay, things are already way out of hand. The record needs to be set straight. Dad did not invent that pie.
There really are no pluses and minuses. Pies get made and eaten every day.
Man, I really hope I have a fork that's compatible for this new pie I keep hearing about.